Hi, my name is Corey Schlesinger, and I've been a strength coach for 10 years now, and I'm going to my first NBA season as a strength coach, so now I'll be the new head strength and conditioning coach for the Phoenix Suns. Basketball training is very different in a lot of ways, and the thing that we have to be most conscious of is how long these athletes are. So barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells, they're made for guys my height, really short, and that's why we can lift weights really well. For these athletes, we need to find more regressed models so that they're able to execute high loads, but do it in a safe manner that will A, get them more performance, but B, make sure that they stay healthy. What really matters the most is how the athlete feels coming in on a daily basis. If they're feeling good and we're in a position to get them stronger, let's execute that to the best of our ability. But because the season's a grind, 82 games, so sometimes we got to reserve and we got to do everything we can to make them feel good. So at the end of the day, if we can keep them healthy and make sure they're available, hopefully along the way we can get them stronger. When it comes to exercise selection, most importantly is what works for that particular athlete. They're really long and tall most of the time, so we need to find some more regression models that are based off of the great lifts or the periodization that you will do with specific lifts. For example, the Olympic lifts, the power lifts, those are all the ones that get us bigger, faster, stronger. But once again, these athletes are very special and we need to do everything we can to keep them safe. So with the regression models, so for instance, instead of using straight bars, maybe we'll use a trap bar. So anything that we can to once again keep them safe and put them in a position to get stronger while not putting damage on the body. So when it comes to programming or prescribing unilateral to bilateral lower body movements, personally I like both. But once again, it's a needs analysis. Do they have the hips to squat bilaterally? If they do, great, because that's the one that's going to give us the biggest engine. But they do play the game off one leg. They sprint and they jump. So ideally, we want both for all aspects. When it comes to the higher minute athletes and when to train them for strength and power during the season, ideally we want to do it on the day where they're getting exhausted the most, right? Or stressed the most. So maybe that's going to be a game day, or maybe it's going to be a high practice day. If we look at stress holistically, ideally we want to match it up. So for instance, if we have a low day on the court, I want a low day in the weight room too, because I don't want to exhaust all of their resources. But if it's going to be a high day, AKA a game day, maybe that's a good time to get strong. Sometimes we'll do it before, sometimes we'll do it after. I like doing it after just to see what they got left in the tank, and then they can go home and rest. Any advice that I would give to young basketball players that are trying to make themselves into college and then eventually the NBA is to really use the simple aspects of training. Like, simple works. I know it could be boring, I know it could be monotonous, but ideally that's where you're going to build that foundation. Yes, you see some cool things online, Instagram, social media, but the basics, just simple squatting patterns, push-ups, pull-ups, all of those will build that foundation to allow you to get to that point.